Oh, hello, my friends. No, let me see if I turn this light off. How's that? Is that bad? Is that too dark? I don't know how to make the lights go away. I think I'm just going to have to deal with it. Let's see a way around that. Well, what are you going to do? Let's see if I can block that stupid light. How was everybody? Hold on. Well, that'll work. I think that's okay. Yeah, that's fine. Anyway. Hello, my friends. How was everybody? Do your best Trump impersonation. Okay, I'm a dumbass. There you go. That's my Trump impersonation. I'm going to show you guys something funny. Hold on. I saw this, and I'm going to make it on one of my videos. Hey, Desiree. Where is it? Hold on. You guys will like this. I actually got a picture of the White House when it's done. I saw the final version of it. Hold on. Where is it? Yes, here it is. Oh, yes, you're going to like this. You are going to like this. Hold on. Here we go. Boom. The East Wing of the White House. You heard it here first. His fat ass is going to eat at McDonald's. Look at that. There it is. All done. You heard it here. No, it's not real. But would you really be surprised if he did that, though? I mean, really? Come on. Him and his diapers and his Diet Cokes and Big Macs. Yeah, that's pretty sad. That actually can be the case. It's sad. He completely tore it down. And Christian nationalist Caroline Leavitt, with their 5-pound gold cross, said that he's just basically touching it up. It's improvements. I mean, it's sad. They completely tore down. Where was it? Somebody, I gotta find out. Let me see if I can find it. I saw a picture of it. The whole thing is gone. Hold on. Hold on. It's like the entire thing is. Sorry, my wife put something on my desk. Let's see. No, I don't have it here, but I'll put that back on the screen. Hold on. Where is it? Yeah, there's McDonald's. We'll share McDonald's. I like that. There it is. You know, that's been there for 100 years. And you know, he's not spending $250 million allegedly of his own money or donors if he plans on leaving it in 3 years. Somebody asked, is Trump actually the president or just the dumbass spokesperson? He's the dumbass spokesperson. He's the white supremacist, which is what my thumbnail is. Look, that's what this is all about. I know I say this a lot. This is about white supremacy and racism. When I do lives and when I get comments on my YouTube and TikTok, the number one immature little men are predominantly Caucasian men, 20 to 40. The typical, I have a small schlong, I'm insecure, their dads breastfed them too long, their moms didn't attend to their clan meetings with them, they feel neglected. What do you see? They want to make fun of people. They rejoice in the suffering of others. They want to own the libs. They want to make fun of gay people and trans people and tampons in boys' bathrooms. He's not planning on leaving. Why do you think he's doing this? He has immunity. You have an entire party that's covering for a pedophile. You're giving KL a I don't know who KL is. I'm sorry. Supporters can't believe it. Did you hear that? FBI is investigating. Yes, there was a case today of a coach and a bunch of players that were working with the mafia and stole. I don't know what the amount is. I haven't seen it, but it was millions of dollars. There was a case. I listened to a podcast about 2 months ago. There was a case back in, I think, the 80s or 90s where a bunch of players had done this, where they had shaved points off of games with the mafia. But I've never seen a head coach do it, where he probably sat players or didn't play players or pulled them out early or changed plays. I mean, it's pretty gross. Yeah, you know what's weird? For the first time with the World Series, I hope the Blue Jays win. I really do. I'm pulling for Canada. And the thing that's sad is I saw the new Prime Minister of Canada speak yesterday, and he is taking all this business and trade that he was doing with us, and he's bringing it all domestic, and he's going to other partners. See, this is the part that his concepts of brain base doesn't understand. What we're doing here is screwing our relationship with the rest of the world. But his racist base doesn't care. When you look at history, when you look at Benito Mussolini, Hitler, what did they do? They demonized a certain demographic, the Jews, Ethiopians, whoever it was. You blame them for all of your shitty problems in your life. And that's what he did to MAGA. Billy Bob in your trailer, I'm sorry you date your sister and you married your cousin and you got kids missing arms and teeth, but it's not your fault. It's the libs. It's the immigrants. So all the horrible stuff he did, they don't care. They simply don't care because he hates the same people they do. And then in their eyes, that's all that matters. It's all that matters. As long as he keeps putting ICE agents in cities with guns and he acts like a tough guy, toxic masculinity, he's going to steal everything that we have in our tax system, whatever's in there. I mean, it's sad. I don't know who. I'm sorry, I don't know who KL is, Mario. Who's KL? I don't know what that is. Is that an abbreviation for somebody? What would it take decades, if not centuries? You know what's going to happen? Caroline. Yeah, that she's disgusting. I believe that these trade partners are not coming back. I don't believe that we're going to get China back with the soybeans. I think that whole industry, probably a good chunk of our industry, is going to be toast. These countries are not going to set up new trade partners, ships, routes, tax codes, new accounts, credit. They're not going to go through all that to play this stupid game with the United States. Oh, thank you, Phantom. Dolly, don't call me daddy. That's weird. No, don't do that. My wife won't like that. But that's what his base doesn't understand. We've been raised in nationalism, that we're the best of the best of the best of the best. And we're not. We've never been the best, except for racism and white supremacy. And obviously, a country full of stupid people. Clearly, concepts of brains. I saw a farmer yesterday, talked about, we voted for America first, Mr. President. You got to do something about the price of meat. And so now we're importing steaks and meat from Argentina. And what's going to happen? They're going to undercut us, obviously, from the local farmers. Now they're mad. They didn't care about the women that he raped or the girls in Epstein Island. They didn't care about the officers that are dead on January 6th or the ones that took their lives later. They don't care about all the kids that are shot in schools. They don't give a shit about them. But how dare the president bring in a competitor against our meat? So these people care more about the price of their cattle than dead children in schools. This is who they are. These great Christian nation people. Praise Jesus. We're so pro-life. And I think the president of the was the president. Hold on a second. Let me stop this. Hold on. It was the president of like the meat packing company. Hold on, the president of the Cattle Association. He said something today. Hold on, I want to read. I saw it somewhere. Where is it? Oh, he said, I can't find it. But basically, he said it's misguided. I mean, in the first term, what did he do? I mean, he did this, right? He caused a trade war with China, and the prices went down. It was the beef. What was it? Hold on. Let me find. I'll show you. I made a chart. Hold on. We went from like 13 billion down to like 3.1 billion or something like that. Let me see if I can find it. Hold on. I have a chart. Yeah, here it is. Hold on. Look, 2017 was Obama, right after he did it. Then look, 3.4, 4.7, 5.8. I mean, it went down like 70%. Oh, look, old Joe Biden that doesn't know what the hell he's doing. Look at that. Look at Biden. Look at Biden. Oh, wow. That's horrible. Everything's awful. Oh, look at dumbass. Yay. Woohoo. We're winning, baby. The golden age. So after 18, we bailed them out with $25 billion. The people that are against socialism. And they said, oh, yeah, look at all these great years. Yeah, but I want to go back to this guy because I like stupid people. So we're going to vote for him again. Oh, look, it's the worst it's been in 30 years. Oh, who knew? But that's not what I voted for. I just wanted him to demonize the brown people. That's all. Just the brown people. The phantom ghost of your dreams has a question. Oh, God. Okay. Please don't call me daddy. That's just weird. I don't know if you have toxic masculinity. This is a great argument. We're still, I'm not sure what the argument is. No. Biden's right here. Biden, then dumbass again. This 12.2 was what Obama had started. And again, his people were so dumb, they didn't realize that the snowball doesn't just stop rolling when somebody leaves office. But he broke it here, right? Biden fixed it, and then he broke it again. The guy that's playing 5D chess, he's so smart that he's destroying the entire market. So what happened was, in 1819, Brazil and Argentina revamped their procedures, their infrastructure, right? They lowered their prices. And now, with the tariffs, they completely took all the market. 50% of our soybean exports are to China. Completely gone. Nothing since May. Hold on. Get this guy's block. That's just, he's being ridiculous now. He's just spamming it. I don't want to hear it, whatever that is. So that's where we are. Okay, somebody said, how about a start? Senator Chris Coons, Dick Durbin, Fetterman. Yeah, Fetterman is my least favorite Republican. Durbin's a dinosaur. Chris Coons needs to go. So Freddie asked, how are we supposed to feel about MAGA feeling bad for their votes? I'm going to have an unpopular opinion. I hope they suffer. They have to. If they don't suffer from, let me get my stand really quick. If they don't suffer the effects of the racism, they're never going to change. Ever. Ever, ever, ever. The only way they're going to change is if they feel effects. Because in 17, we bailed them out. They felt nothing. Again, what are we doing? We're going to bail them out again. And they're going to feel nothing. Why do we keep bailing out people that vote against the best interests? And this is where I am, and I think a lot of us are frustrated, right? They didn't care that women in Texas have a 56% increased mortality rate. Women are dying from the lack of health care. And they didn't give two craps about that. Adriana Smith, who was kept alive for 4 months after she was brain dead because of the heartbeat bill, they didn't care about her. They didn't care about the kids that aren't getting special needs in school because the Department of Education's taken away. They don't care about SNAP benefits. They don't care about Medicaid. They didn't care about the officers that are dead on January 6th. They don't care about the school shootings. But now I'm supposed to give a crap about their farms? They care more about their farms than children being murdered in schools. This is who they are. And they're going to have to suffer. Christian nation. This is not a Christian nation. The Christian nation that basically murdered 1.2 to 1.4 million African Americans coming over in the Middle Passage. And then we brought them over here. And then we broke them up from their families, forced them to do the job that white people were too lazy to do. And then when they misbehaved, we put them in vats of hot sugar, and then we whipped them. And if that wasn't enough, we would either feed them to alligators or hang them from a tree while we went to church on Sunday. That's what we did. That's our great Christian nation. I had a picture of it somewhere. Hold on. I'll show you. This great Christian nation. Somewhere, hold on. I'll pull up a picture now that I know how to do all this stuff. It's disgusting. Where was it? All right. Yeah, I'll show you. I'm just gonna. If you don't want to see it, it's fine. I just want to show you because this is what actually happened as a country. So, just giving you a warning. It's part of history. It's a picture, but it's not pleasant. This is our Christian nation. That's it. This is our great Christian nation. But just ignore the bad parts. How dare you criticize this country, right? Leave the country if you don't like it. This is our great Christian nation. This is the part of history that MAGA doesn't want to admit. And we have to look at it sometimes because it's disgusting. This is what we did to people. This is how we treated people. For generations and generations and generations, it's disgusting. And part of this country doesn't want to admit it. Then you had Wounded Knee, where 250 innocent, 80% were women and children. They just murdered them and threw them into a hole. Then you had the Trail of Tears, where 16,000 people died. But we called it the westward expansion. Then you had 1,800 people die in Asian internment camps in the 30s and 40s. But don't you dare question this nation, you little patriots. We've never been a great country for everybody. And they're fighting it. That's what you're seeing. And Hawaii, yep. Hawaii, we stole Hawaii. King Kamehameha. We took the land from them and we colonized them. And then we got to war with Mexico and we took the land all the way up to Utah. This country has been absolute garbage to anybody that doesn't look like me. And part of this country only cares about the Second Amendment. Only half of the two sentences, right? They don't want to talk about well-regulated. Puerto Rico should be a state. They have over 3 million people that live in Puerto Rico. There's 500,000 in Wyoming. Why aren't they a state? They're citizens. Bad Bunny's a citizen. They pay taxes. Why in the hell shouldn't they have representation? Tell me why, because I don't understand it. And Eli, interesting about Hawaii. They did not protest on. They protested on Saturday, but they didn't call it no kings. They called it no dictators, because in their culture they had kings, King Kamehameha. That's their culture, which is kind of interesting. Yes, Bad Bunny can run for president. And like my video I made like 3 weeks ago, it's only because he's not white. Part of this country looks at anybody that's not white and they assume that they're not a citizen. And for a lot of people, including my family who live in Indiana, they're a bunch of redneck racists. They are. They work hard, but they're racist. And they grow up in white America. White. And what you see is a lot of people that finally get out of these little hillbilly towns and they go to college and they become woke. But woke means that not everybody's just some white person marrying their cousin and inbreeding. There's more to life than just owning the libs. And a lot of people don't see that. And they go to college, they educate themselves, and they see other points of view. And they're like, you know what? I'm a Democrat because I'm tired of judging everybody else. That happens a lot. DC is not a state because it would probably be blue. It's very liberal. There's over 500, is it 500,000? Hold on. Population. Let me see. 702,000 people as of July 2024. Wyoming population. Wyoming has 587,000. Puerto Rico has over 3 million. Why the hell isn't a state? That makes no damn sense. DC has more people. It's ridiculous. They pay taxes. They don't have representation in Congress or in the Senate. Nancy said, anyone? Sorry, let's have Bad Bunny as the leader of America so we can get reparations for black people. I'm for it. I just don't know if it should be assets or monetary. That's the part I don't know. I've thought about it. I don't have an answer yet, to be honest with you. Can Trump own a gun? I don't think he can because he's a convicted felon. I mean, plus he's going to have Big Mac fingers, so he's going to get, secret sauce in the trigger. Yeah, make Wyoming 3/5 of a state. See how they like that. Well-regulated Wyoming. I know. Don't ruin it, Mario. I'm going to watch the Warriors when I'm done here. I couldn't watch the Warriors game last night or on 2 nights ago because the thing went in double overtime on CNN. Hey, Jerome. And then my TV didn't work. So then I had to restart it and the whole thing was kaput. So I basically missed almost all the games. So tonight I'm going to watch the whole game. Correct. Los Angeles has a bigger population. Yeah, you're not wrong. Okay. So my thumbnail. Yes, Trump is a racist. I researched what happened in New York City. And what would happen was they would have a lady go in there, a black lady, and she would ask to rent a room, okay? Or an apartment. And they would say, oh, I'm sorry, the rooms are full. And she would ask, well, then why is your for rent sign out there? Well, I'm sorry, I forgot to take it down. Then she came out, and then a day or two later, or maybe it was the same day, she had a white lady. Her name was like Mrs. Mason or something. And she would go in there, and they say, when you do the tapping at times when you speak, oh, thank you. And he would rent to her. And she goes, I don't understand. My friend was just in here. You didn't rent to her. Why is that? Well, my boss told me I can't rent to her. Those are the rules. Her boss was Donald Trump. He was sued, and he was forced to, without admitting guilt, he admitted guilt, basically, by having to change his rules to say, I'm not going to be a racist piece of garbage. Yeah. And then he asked for the execution of the Central Park Five with no evidence, but, they were black, so they must be guilty. He spent $15,000 at a paper. $15,000 Never apologized. They were exonerated. Nick Fuentes, a white supremacist, had dinner at his house. Cleared through the Secret Service. And his base would say, well, just because he was at his house doesn't mean he knows who he is. It's who they are. They move the goalposts. Then he said that President Obama, I'm not sure if he was born here. They're eating the dogs and the cats. They're murderers and rapists from Mexico. Well, that's what you are, a rapist. And then he celebrated October 14th for the racist podcaster who said the blacks are taking the whites' jobs, who said if you're black, how do I know if you're a qualified pilot? That Kamala Harris isn't black, and that Harris was Black Hillary. I mean, his name should be in the Wikipedia for what a racist is or a white supremacist. It's not even a question. His base just likes it. Where's my thumbnail? Hold on. Here it is. Yeah, here it is. This is my that's true, right there. When they look in the mirror, he's a reflection of them. He hates the same people. He can't stand the same people. He doesn't like the same people. He's who they are. They see him in him. The misogyny, the sexism, the racism, the white supremacy, the xenophobia. It's who they are as people. It's who they are, sadly. Did you guys go to my YouTube on that one for that video? For those of you that may not have been here, did you listen to that letter that I wrote from that I'm sorry, not the letter that I wrote, that I read from the other day? Did you guys do that or no? Hold on. Yeah, the racist podcaster was a piece of garbage. But on a positive note, now he knows who's on the Epstein list. The podcaster weaponized Christianity to push white supremacy. That's all it was. He told young men, he red-pilled them, to control women, that somehow just because you're genetically a male, somehow you are designed by God to just be the ruler of everything. That's what he did. And he damaged a lot of young men's psyche. All right, hold on, let me see here. I want to what's going on here? What is this? Hold on. In case anybody wasn't here. So I made a video 2 days ago? Yesterday. Hold on. Fudge. Hold on. It's a pinned comment. Somebody asked me for it, and I put it on there. Hold on. There it is. Hold on. Okay. Here we go. Okay. So I'm going to read it in case anybody wasn't here the other day. Yes, the racist podcaster, he was a once-in-a-lifetime generation. Well, I don't know. You got the guy in the White House. You have Stephen Miller. You have Steve Bannon. Yes, we're talking about that dumpster fire. I'll read this letter to you. The last thing Charlie kicked it was linked to the left. Yeah, he just pushed white supremacy. I'll read this letter because this is really good. Now, I think it was yesterday morning I posted it. It's called America Didn't Elect a President, It Elected a Reflection. Oh, I can share this. Hold on. Because I think some people asked me if they wanted to read it. Let me see if I can share this. Hold on. Well, that's not very good, but I'll read it. I used to wonder how it was possible that Trump could have won in 2016 and the second time in 2024, given how emotionally toxic and depraved he is. I no longer do. I actually think he won for that precise reason, because he had at least one effed up part of To the Mirror and the effed up parts of Millions. If you're a racist, you found your guy. Misogynist, you found your guy. If all you care about is money, he's your guy. If you have an emotionally armored heart, he's your guy. If you make fun of disabled people, he's your guy. If you're a white supremacist, he's your guy. If you have a hole in your ego so big that not even the presidency can fill it, he's your guy. If you're a sociopath, he's your guy. If he had only two of these issues, he would have never won. It was the fact that he had hundreds of them that made him the winner, because millions of humans are toxic, so they could relate to him in one form or another. It's never been about Trump. It's always been about the people who finally have their twisted feelings about others validated. Trump has given those people permission to disparage and hate their fellow human beings. Trump is only symptomatic of a much larger issue of a collective toxicity. If there is a single sentence that characterizes Trump, it's this: he says the things I'm thinking. That may be what is so terrifying. Who knew that so many tens of millions of Americans were thinking unconscionable things about their fellow Americans? Who knew that tens of millions of men felt so emasculated by women and challenged by minorities? Who knew that after years of seeming progress on race and gender, tens of millions of white Americans lived in seething resentment, waiting for a demagogue to arrive who would legitimize their worst selves and channel them into political power? Perhaps had we had been living in a fool's paradise. No, we're not. Yes, Steve Bannon is all in on Project 2025. What Project 2025 is in a nutshell is basically to tear down democracy and have white men run the country. Stephen Miller says they want 100 straight white men to run this country. White people. That's what they want. They want a white patriarchy. Whether we like it or not, that's just a fact. Look at who they're demonizing. It's the brown people, right? They're saying, I just want him here legally. Okay, cool, great. They've been here for 40 years. Okay, there's a way you can do that. You can knock on the door and say, hey, you know what? We have to deport you. I'm sorry. Please get your things together. You could do it that way, but they're not. They're trying to be an alpha male because they want their racist base to get off on this. So they bring Black Hawk helicopters. They drop them on top of Chicago, apartments, flashbangs, zip tie 10-year-olds, grab people out naked, and they throw them in the back of a U-Haul. It's the cruelty. His base gets off on it. Hey, Shannon. That's what it is. But somehow, if you're a white man and you rape women and molest little girls and a convicted felon and tax fraud and cause an insurrection, somehow you get to have the nuclear codes and be president. Somehow that's okay. But if you're brown and your documentation's not right, somehow we're going to treat you like an animal. How do we solve the issue of racism? What we're doing right now, what I'm doing, it has to be white people talking about it. That's what bothers me about these bro podcasts. The people on the left that have millions of followers, they never, ever, ever talk about this. And I talked about this yesterday, so I don't want to be redundant for the people that heard that. But they're grifters. I'll show you. Watch. Hold on. Let me find it really quick. There it is. Like this. Hold on. I mean, and I'm going to say what I said yesterday, and I'm sorry for the people that were here because some people weren't. It's all rage bait. It's all bullshit. It just is. Excuse my language. It's bullshit. It is. She's not on here as much. Never mind. Okay. Brian Tyler Cohen. I don't think I've heard a video from this guy before. I mean, insane. Trump's insane. Public warning. Out to dry. Bombshell. Feared the most. Demolishes. It's just rage bait. It's what it is. It's designed to make you mad. Oh, David Pac-Man? Let me see. I haven't researched these, so I'm looking at them for the first time. Completely nuts. Friends, enemies. Knock it down. Are you serious? He has no shame. It's just... But this is what it's designed to do. It's designed... This is marketing, okay? You're right. It's the way to catch the... Oh, well, thank you, Madalena. Listen, I don't want to be like this. I mean, I actually like making thumbnails, and I know that it's AI. I get that, and I know it's not for everybody. But I think that a picture tells a story. And I don't know what this is. Look at the... here's the other guy. What's his name? Oh. This guy, I think he's live. Oh, maybe he's not live. He is live, typically. Like, you know, God save Trump. Bro is so lost. His plans suffer. Eye-opening. You fabricated evidence. It's just, it's designed to make us pissed off and angry. Eli, I believe that CNN is scripting. I haven't watched CNN. I mean, I might flip it on by accident. When Caitlin Collins, who I think is an excellent reporter, when they had a town hall and said it was independence, when the entire audience was MAGA, and they filled the entire audience, and they all sit there and cheered them on and everything. I lost respect for them. And now they have who's that white nationalist out there? Scott Jennings. Oh my God. The dude is just awful. I think the Daily Show is more of a comedy thing. I think that's different. Same thing with like a South Park. Yeah, Scott Jennings is an absolute douchebag. And again, I'm not saying that these platforms, I'm not here to throw them on a bus. That is not my intent. But what I'm saying is, when we are more baited into rage baiting, okay? We don't address, like somebody had a question, how do we stop racism? When these people are, look at this, they're watching like 30 million views. And I'm not poo-pooing them. I think it's funny. I like it. I'm not saying that. But they're not dealing with serious issues like white supremacy and racism. Like, this is why we're here. The Trump tariff formula? I don't really. I'll look it up later. But anyway, but they have a lot of people. I think Jon Stewart is incredible. I don't know if he'd be a good president, but I really like where he is. Midterms. I believe that the Democrats are doing an absolute awful job by telling us that waiting for them until the midterms is the solution to this. At some time, I have to figure out how to stream video on here where you guys can hear me. So I haven't figured that out yet. But I have a video of Eric Swalwell that he basically said he wants us to protest. And it's our job and to vote for them in the midterms. And that's the only way that they're going to stop what's happening. And if they don't win, then democracy's over. So Eric Swalwell told me that they were willing to go all in on just waiting until next year, watching democracy crumble, and then they're going to have hearings, whatever the hell that means. Who's going to enforce the hearings? Caroline Leavitt? Kash Patel? They have all the branches and the Supreme Court. Yep, the FBI today arrested a lot of people in the NBA. And I am pushing the where is it? Hold on. Is it on here? Here it is. So there's a lot of people talking about this. Now, the thing that I want to say about this is I think it's a great idea. There's a flyer going around that somebody made. I think it's called Black Out the System. They're no spending between Black Friday and what is it? The 3rd through Cyber Monday. Now, the only thing I don't agree with them is this. For Target, Best Buy, the large box stores, screw them all. We need to spend at local businesses, small businesses. I don't like that they haven't clarified that. I'm talking to the guy about it. We cannot harm the small businesses. They're the lifeblood of our country. They can't afford to take a hit like that. Our money should go to them. So it stays in the economy, but it's not giving it to the rich people. I still haven't resubscribed to Disney, and I'm not planning on it. I don't care if I like the show. I haven't shopped at Target in a year because of their DEI stance. The beef industry is going to get screwed by Argentina. Now, I don't know what he has on Argentina or what Argentina has on him, but they took all of our soybean business. So the way this worked is really weird, right? So this brainiac playing 5D chess put tariffs on so we can all pay more taxes even though we're poor. And then what happened was between the tariffs and the trade war with China in 2017, there was Argentina, Brazil, increasing the infrastructure, and they took all of our business. So what this dummy is going to do is say, oh, I'm sorry, you lost all your business because China's buying from Argentina, Brazil. We're going to take the tariffs that you and I are paying, and the farmers, and we're just going to take all that and put it on the table and toss it to the farmers and bail your asses out again because you didn't learn from the first time. Screw you guys. Go out of business. You voted for this. You saw what happened the first time and you said, yeah, I'm good. I don't want a black woman. And then somehow this donkey gave $40 billion to Argentina of our tax dollars while the government shut down, while people are not getting paid as government workers, but somehow, tell me how it makes sense. How is it that they're getting paid? They're not. And then while we're doing that, while people are going to lose their SNAP benefits that are freaking out, that are going to food banks, this guy tears down the entire east wing of the White House, spends $250 million on it. And then he's suing the Department of Justice and says, we own $250, then it was $300, and now it's $300 million. So he's spending $250 million of our tax dollars on the East Wing, and then he's telling us that we owe him $350 for pain and suffering. Mario has a question about what? Mondavi? Is that what it was? I think Hakeem Jeffries is a Timu version of a congressman. He's an absolute, utter joke. He's an utter, complete joke. If I put what's a jellyfish as a congressman in ChatGPT, it gives me Hakeem Jeffries. He's an absolute clown. He has no backbone. He's got no sack. There's no fight in anybody in the Democratic Party. If you want to see someone fight, go watch Isaiah. What's his name? Isaiah. Hold on. No, if I do, hold on. Isaiah. What's his name? Isaiah, Texas candidate. Isaiah. What's his name? Isaiah Martin. Here it is. This dude can cook. Hold on. Got stuck on Expedia. What the hell's going on here? Isaiah Martin's his name. Would you stop with the ads? Like on ad hell right now. I can't even see an article without being sent over 5 different things. Here he is. Hold on. It's making me like do some stupid like. Hold on. Give me a second, guys. Sorry. This guy. Go watch some of his videos. This dude right here, I don't really endorse people. Just go watch some of his speeches. This dude can cook. You want to see someone that knows how to fight? Go listen to this guy. Go listen to his speech. I think it was yesterday before. Go on like Blue Sky or something to find one of his speeches. This guy knows how to talk. He calls the White House out. He calls the spineless Democrats. He doesn't matter. Jasmine Crockett's incredible as well. This dude can fight. If we had 300 of these dudes, we would not be in this mess. And I also like the guy in Maine, the clam farmer. What's his name? Hold on. Maine. God, what's his name? Damn it. Graham Plattner. This guy. There was so go watch it. What I can't play sound. I don't know how to do it on here. But go watch how he talks. He talks like a normal human being. Now, there was something he did some years ago, and he got some tattoo that was controversial. I don't know all the details. I guess it was like anti-Semitic. Him and a bunch of guys went to a bar or a tattoo shop, like 30 years ago when they were in the military, and they're like, I like the tattoo, cool, like skull with some symbol on there. Come to find out, like years later, it meant something else. He didn't know. He had it removed. He's like, look, we all do dumb things. I don't agree with it at all. We all say things. We all grow as people. I'm not the same person today that I was back then. And that's what we need. People that can say, you know what? I screwed up. I did something dumb. But at the same time, what people need to do is have a little bit of grace. We can't just say one strike and you're out. Oh, you said one thing. You did one bad thing and just completely throw them out. Hey, Sarge, this guy's a real thing. But he's going up against Janet Mills. Paul, you're breaking up with... Am I breaking up? Really? Yeah, Madalena, I don't know exactly what it was. I don't know exactly what it was. Whatever this is, yeah, I don't know. It means something. I have no idea. I guess it does. But again, he got this with a bunch of his friends. They just liked the tattoo. It had no symbolic meaning at the time. But he stood up there. He said, yeah, I didn't know. It's stupid. I don't agree with it in any way, shape, or form. I denounce all forms of anti-Semitism. I haven't heard Chris Swanson. All right, see you later, Bridget. I think they thought it was just a cool seal, and it turned out being something different. And what I don't like is this. The Democratic Party wants Janet Mills in here, okay? Janet Mills is a dinosaur. The governor of Maine, here she is. She's like 8,000 years old. How old is she? Oh, how old is she? She's 77. Get the hell out of here. Go retire. Go plant a garden. Go fly fishing. Go bowling. Get the hell out of my life. See, this is the problem. The Democratic Party is pushing a 77-year-old on a 6-year term. She's going to be 83. I don't want people that are 8,000 years old. No, it has to change. But this is what the Democratic establishment is doing. Yeah, it's not just people, it's the Democrats. Because the Democratic establishment doesn't want somebody that they don't have in there as an establishment. I don't see what he's doing as something about his tattoo. I don't think it's about that at all. It's about maintaining the status quo. And that's the problem with the Democratic Party. They are unwilling to change. And at every corner that not me, I'm not even a Democrat, that the Democratic Party tries to get more progressive or younger, they fight it, they fight it, they fight it. Why hasn't Hakeem Jeffries endorsed Mamdani? It's been 2 months, and he still hasn't done it. It's ridiculous. It's absolutely asinine. Mills did stand up to Trump, and I respect her for that. But she's 77 years old. And she was asked by, God, I want to say Brian Cohen. I could be wrong. One of those left-leaning bros. And she said, I will only be a one-term senator. What? I don't want her being 83 years old. Yeah, Touche, you could be right. I have not researched it. What I know is this. Again, that's what I'm saying. I don't know everything, but what I know is this. And I can't play sound here. I apologize. He said, you know what? Maybe I can't pull it up. Hold on. What's his name? Hold on. I can play it for you. Hold on. It's a Graham. Hold on.
I've seen articles from mainstream media, like legacy media, where they haven't talked about you before at all. But now, I mean, I don't want to make a connection, but after Janet Mills started running, you know, and it's kind of been, you know, without saying, I feel like I don't need to say anything. Everyone knows what I mean. But
his tattoo.
Your thoughts?
I'm not going to minimize what has come out. I am not today who I always have been. I used to hold different opinions. I used to use different language. I said things and believed things that today I find abhorrent. I also grew. I met new people. I learned of other people's experiences. I realized that my experiences were my own, and they colored my opinions and where I was. And that the more open I could be to listening to other people's stories, the more open I was willing to be to extend compassion and empathy to others, the more I realized that many of those stories and beliefs that I had were wrong. And I changed them. And it was through that journey that I became who I am today. And I will say this, I am ashamed of things I once said, but I am not ashamed of who I am today. The establishment is spooked. And I'll say this, if they thought that this was going to scare me off, if they thought that ripping my life to pieces, trying to destroy it, was going to make me think that I shouldn't undertake this project, they clearly have not spent a lot of time around Marines.
See, I can get on board with that. He stood on business. He owned it. He said, I effed up and I'm a different person now. I respect that. I don't know what he said. And I'm not making excuses for the man, but I know this, that there's not a lot of people that I've seen that have had the balls to stand up and admit that they screwed up and that they're a better person now. And if we can't see that in some people, and I think we've lost that, we want to have one strike and you're out. You say one thing, you do something bad and you're toast. I respect that. As a black person, forgiveness for me comes from someone owning the wrongs committed. I don't need anything else. Yep. Okay. Yeah, touche. Again, I am not saying, I don't know what he said. That's what I'm saying. I haven't researched it. This is all I heard today. I had heard about the tattoo and then what he said. Regardless of what happened in the past, I am not making excuses, and I don't, I don't roll with that at all. But I wish that more people would do what he did. Now that's to be determined. I don't know. I don't know. The Purple Revolution guy. Oh God, he is an utter. So for the the Purple Revolution guy was this. Well, he's not a former MAGA. He's still a MAGA. And he started his account 2 months ago. And he started out libtards this, and I hate the libs, and you guys are awful, and blah, blah, blah. And then he went to, we need to find common ground. Let's come together. And then people said, no, because you don't want to talk about policy. He wanted people to come together and save him from his racism. He doesn't want the consequences to come together. But he said, no, we're going to disagree on policy. And he's like, no, women's rights, transgenders were kicked out of the military, healthcare, autistic help, firearm violence. He completely wanted to ignore all of it and just sing Kumbaya. And we're like, nah, that ain't going to fly, bro. Austin, I don't know what you're talking about. I'm sorry. Yeah, the Purple Revolution. And then now the Purple Revolution's guy gone from Purple Revolution to like, he basically now he wants 1776 again. It literally, he had like a 30-day window of where he had enlightenment. And the moment that he had a reflection, he was like, no, I'm good. I'm going to go back. Is Joe Rogan a narcissist? All of these people on the right are red pilling young men. They do. I mean, this is what I know. Okay. By your fruits shall you be judged. Who you vote for is symbolic of who you are as a person. Joe Rogan used his platform and told millions of people, primarily young, wannabe alpha males that are toxic masculinity, to vote for a adjudicated rapist, a felon who cheats on his wife, who molested that little girl, 13-year-old Katie Johnson, in court documents, who wanted to execute 5 black people and sat on his fat ass for 3 hours while police officers were beaten. Joe Rogan goes, young men, that's masculinity. If I don't know anything else about Joe Rogan, I don't care. I know that those things were okay with him because he didn't want a black woman running this country. Just because somebody has millions of followers doesn't mean that you're on the right side of history. Hell, just for religious reference, Jesus was literally crucified and the dude never did nothing wrong. So on the other side, just because a lot of people follow you doesn't mean you're on the right side. Hitler had 30% of the population supporting him. They were all on the wrong side. All of them. And 77 million people in this country are on the wrong side of history because they ignored it. They thought that they would benefit from the racism and the white supremacy and the sexism. They didn't care about anybody else as long as their life was made better. And every Republican Senate and Congress right now is saying this is okay because silence is acceptance. Found my pen. There comes a time when silence is betrayal. Martin Luther King said, we're not going to remember the voices of our enemies, rather the silence of our friends. And for everyone that looks like me, that's hiding behind the white privilege, you're complicit in this. You're not innocent. You're either standing up for what's right, or you're either actively or passively saying that this is okay. Yeah, I don't even think it's about the word of God. It's about these people are a piss poor reflection of whatever Jesus stood for. They're the reason that people don't want to go to church. Joe Rogan has always been like this. Yeah, Joe Rogan's he's a grifter. I mean, he is. Let's be real. He's just an alpha male that wants to smoke cigars and eat raw fish and be some kind of bro Bud Light looking studio that makes people feel like alpha males. That's all he does. It's not, I mean, it's very simple. He's not a bright guy. I mean, the guy used to work on Fear Factor, where he used to like sit, I mean, yeah. Billionaires. Yeah, Mondavi is where I believe that most Democrats are going. If you have him, a Jasmine Crockett, Isaiah Martin, AOC, obviously Bernie's getting old, so who knows how much time he has left. Maybe Chris Murphy. I'm on the fence about Jamie Raskins. I think he talks. I like James Tallarico, but Eli, I'm going to say what I always say about him. I love Tallarico and I like Pete Buttigieg. I do not think that James Tallarico is willing to get down and dirty in the mud because of his faith. And I am not poo-pooing his faith. I have extremely amounts of respect. But until I see them actually fight and get down and dirty like Jasmine Crockett, that's what I want to see. I want to see what Newsom's doing, what Pritzker's doing, with the mayor Hochul. That's what I want to see. I want to see fire and fight and get the gloves out, get him in the gutter. That's what I want to see from him. Yeah, he should arrest him. Benjamin Netanyahu is a murderer. I think the last count I saw was 72,000 were dead. They were starving 600,000 people. So what happened is out of the 70,000 that are dead, just over 20,000 were children. So he justified murdering over 20,000 innocent children for a couple of bad people in Gaza. 85% of the country is destroyed. There's nothing left. Put his ass out of the prison, let him rot, and then he can go take it up with God when he sends his ass down to Jeffrey Epstein. Not complicated. What he did was wrong. It's people that take money don't want to say anything because they want more money. They've sold their souls out. I will watch the Nuggets after I'm done here. Somebody asked a question about. Oh, I like James Tallarico. Again, I'm not poo-pooing him. I just haven't seen enough fight in him. That's what I want to see. I am not familiar with the India-Pakistan conflict, to be perfectly honest. That is something I am not familiar with. When people show you who they are, believe them. Yep. Cory Booker. Don't like him. I don't. He gave that great speech, and I was pulling for him, and I'll give him his roses, but then he voted for Charles Kushner because he gave him a lot of money. And he's taking... how much money has Cory Booker taken from APAC? APAC tracker. Let's see. Mr. Cory Booker. Let's see. Oh, look at Cory Booker. $871,000. Yep. He was on last week with I've Had a Podcast. And he diminished this. He goes, oh, it's only 1% of my total contributions. So while we're putting our rent on paychecks, living paycheck to paycheck, can't afford food, he is diminishing $800,000. Oh, it's just 1%. Gun reform. 5 things. A 10-day waiting period. Nobody needs to have a gun right away. It's a cool down for you in case you were emotionally charged, especially if you're younger. Safe gun storage. I'll show you something here. It was a 13-year-old. Where is it? Yeah, here it is. October 7th, right here. See this? Local storage, gun storage. So this 13-year-old made gun threats. They found these behind dressers, on tables, under the beds, completely unstored. These people should be charged with a felony. With great power comes great responsibility. Thank you, BJ. Lock their asses up. What if the kid didn't say anything and he used these in a school shooting? Why shouldn't they be responsible as much as the person using them? Gun reform. If you're against this, then you're just a shitty person. If you could stop one innocent person from dying from this, that's not an infringement. See, that's the thing I have a problem with people and guns. They don't want you to infringe on their rights, but they don't care if their gun sitting on a dresser infringes on the rights or the life or the well-being of anybody else. They don't give a damn. But freedom, right? Just don't take their gun. Background, go through a 2-hour safety course so you know how to use it. And if you go to a show, like in Texas, you don't have to go to a show. You don't have to go through a background check. Make it do a background check. And if you have a mental condition that has been diagnosed by a doctor, then you don't get to have one. You shouldn't. If you are medically diagnosed with mental conditions and you are a threat to yourself or somebody else, why do you think that somebody should have a gun that has a mental condition that is taking medication? That is bananas. Mario. Benjamin Netanyahu should be buried under a prison, left to rot, and then spend eternity with Jeffrey Epstein. It's not hard. Here. As of October 23rd, 68,280 people. Including those missing, presumed dead, is over 70. And with the missing, they think it's about 77,000. So there's another 9,000 that are still missing. Half were women and children. 20,000 of the dead were children. But hey, they're just defending themselves. That's like me keying your car and then you burning the house to the ground with me and my family inside. That's what he did. That is not defending yourself. It's genocide. what Hamas did was wrong. But how do you justify murdering 20,000 innocent children because of something that a bunch of bad people? I mean, how do you justify that? It's not. They would want to put addiction recovery. If you're going to have a firearm, with great power comes great responsibility. The Second Amendment says, well regulated. And the Democrats have done an absolute crap job about pushing back. Well regulated, background check, safe gun storage, go through training. Well regulated. My kid had to go through 50 hours of training just to drive a car. You going to tell me that making you go through a 2-hour course and ensuring that it's safely stored is an infringement? Jon Stewart said it best. Inconvenience is not infringement. How would I fix the economy? Oh, God. At this point, I don't know. What I was initially going to suggest with trade partners like Canada, have free trade. See if we can give them something and they can give us something back for things like potash so the farmers can be more profitable. That's what I would have done. But now Canada, as of yesterday, had said that they're going to cut us off and they're tired of dealing with our baloney and they're going to do it by themselves. I don't know if that's coming back. So, yeah. All right, my friends. I got to go watch the Warriors. I get to watch my first game of the year. Woohoo! All right, my friends. I will see you next time, and I will catch you on my next live will be on Monday to Thursday. Yes, Zypher, this economy is toast. And to be honest, we haven't even scratched the surface of how bad this is going to get. When the U.S. dollar goes down, when trade partners leave us, when we have to keep bailing people out, I don't think the government's going to open until next year. This is going to get way worse. Watch your spending. Only buy at local businesses. I'm going to tell you, don't go on vacation. Don't buy cars. Save your cash. Save your cash. All right, my friends. Bye-bye.